And day 2 here at Fiesta, Texas. Yesterday was incredible. Spent most of my time with Iron Rattler, so today I'll spend more time with the other rides. I was trying to break my personal record of 31 laps on a single coaster in a day, and I obliterated it with 42. Started the day with 3 laps in a row on Chupacabra. They opened it 10 minutes before official park opening. So if you get to the park a little early, you can knock out Chupacabra, probably get some re-rides, and then move on to the rest of the park. It is just a Batman the Ride clone, but it's a good clone. Just like Boomerangs. Always worth the ride. I just got off of 10 in a row on Poltergeist, all in the same seat. That's my record for the most consecutive rides not leaving my seat. Because normally whenever I get to do those marathons, I end up switching seats either by choice or because I have to. That time I was able to just stay in my seat for all 10 rides on my favorite seat on the train, the next to last row, left seat. And if not for my 13 in a row on Iron Rattler yesterday, the 10 in a row on this would have been a new personal record for me, because the most I'd ever done in a row on a ride before was 9 before yesterday. And I could have stayed on for more laps, but I figured I want to check some other things out. Want to get on some other rides. I got 10 in a row in 40 minutes. We'll see if we have any line on this one. Lots of empty rows. So yeah, I'll probably just walk right on. These Sunday mornings here in San Antonio are incredible. When they open at 10:30, I think these Sunday mornings it really helps here in San Antonio, all the people that are in church. And I do go to church when I'm back at home, but whenever I'm out here on the road, I'll come and take advantage of the lighter crowds because of the people in church. But I can also glorify God through everything that I do. After all, we're supposed to glorify God in everything that we do, including when we ride roller coasters. Well, since it was a walk-on, I went ahead and did Batman the Ride. Even got 2 in a row. And those were the best rides I've ever gotten on this one, on any of the Six Flags ones, actually. I had 5 flips. Did 4 flips on the top row. Came off the top, did 3 back flips in a row, and then right around the Raven turn, did a front flip. And then my 5th flip was on the 2nd level, right before the other Raven turn. After 2 in a row on Superman Krypton Coaster, I have done 20 rides in the first 2 hours of operation. It's 12:18 right now, and Chupacabra opened 10 minutes early at 10:20. Iron Rattler is still listed with no wait, so I'll go check that out. Still haven't ridden Cliffhanger on this trip. I think it broke down again. It's a B&M, of course it did. I did 7 laps on Iron Rattler in an hour, including 4 in a row. Just got my 10th ride of the day on Iron Rattler, and my 30th overall ride at the park for the day in the first 3.5 hours. Just hit 2 o'clock. I've had incredible days at this park before. I've had incredible days at other parks, but nothing really compares to this. So far, at least. Have 3.5 hours being able to get several re-rides, walking on everything. But now that I got 10 laps on both Poltergeist and Iron Rattler, I gotta get on this one. Boy, I've been wearing myself out today. I'm already at 45 laps, have an hour and a half left of park operations. But this is also a short day, 10:30 to 6. 7.5 hours, and I'm gonna reach 50 coaster rides on the day. I've reached 50 on a day 2 other times in my life. Both times were at Kings Island. I had a 51 ride day. Now I had Flash Pass that day, or Fast Lane that day. The second time was also at Kings Island, 50 laps, 50 coaster laps, without Fast Lane, but I did have a lot of time at the park that day. 9:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. 12.5 hours. This is gonna be 7.5 hours, and I most likely am going over 50 laps with those 7.5 hours. 5 fewer hours. that's not what I expected to see. Dr. Diabolical's cliffhanger stuck on the mid-course. I'm at 8 laps on it. I was wanting to get it to double digits also, because I already got double digits on Poltergeist and Iron Rattler. Would have been cool to get double digits on 3 different rides. It might happen. Yeah, they got it back open. And I got double digits. Got 3 in a row to get to 11 laps on this. So 11 on this, 10 on Poltergeist, 14 on Iron Rattler so far. Still got 15 minutes left. So this is the 3rd time in my life that I've gotten double digits on 3 different rides in a day. And one of those was at Canada's Wonderland, where I had the fast lane. The other one was at Dollywood, where I didn't, and today I didn't have any kind of skip the line service, the flash pass. Well, 15 minutes left. 14 on Iron Rattler so far today. Let's see if I can get 2 or 3 or 4 more. And that also puts me at 52 coaster laps for the day without flash pass. I did 20 rides in those first 2 hours, and since then I have pretty much held to 1 ride every 10 minutes average. I've gotten a few re-rides to help with that, and then sometimes, like that last ride on Wonder Woman, it took a little while in line, and then of course walking across the park. I do not have the dining plan anymore, and that has worked in my favor here, because instead of wasting time eating food, all I'm doing is riding rides today, and I love it. That's what I want to be doing at parks. I don't want to waste time eating food. I'll do that afterwards. I'd rather just ride rides. Oh, I need to hurry. Another train is about to come in. So it ended up being 4 in a row on Iron Rattler to end the day. Got in row 11, was able to stay on for 3 straight times, and then for the final ride I moved back to the back row. And that 4th ride was actually after hours, and it was the last ride of the night. I thought about waiting for the other train, because the other train does seem to be riding just a little bit faster. Thought about waiting on it, but then I thought that that might cost me a ride, and I was right. I would have gotten 3 in a row with the other train. Instead, I got 4 in a row. So that is 18 laps on Iron Rattler today, and 60 for the weekend. 60 rides over 2 days on Iron Rattler. I remember back in 2021 coming here for spring break. I was here for 5 days, got 58 rides on Iron Rattler. I thought that was phenomenal, and it was. But here with 60 rides, I topped that 58 in just 2 days. This truly was a weekend for the ages. Maybe the best coaster event I've ever been a part of. Fiesta Fest yesterday, and then maybe the best day I've ever had at an amusement park. And like all my records have shattered this weekend. Today, 56 coaster laps, beating my previous record of 51. And again, that 50 and 51 that I've done before, I had 12.5 hours of park time to get those 50 and 51 laps. Here, I didn't have Flash Pass, and I only had 7.5 hours. You might wonder, why are there so many people leaving? Well, it's because they just did their Mardi Gras parade. So a lot of people stuck around for that, but they weren't riding rides. But that does mean that we're all leaving at the same time. And another personal record for me, with those 56 rides today and 46 yesterday, that is 102 rides in total for the weekend, over 2 days. I remember I was here for Roller Coaster Rodeo, 3 full days between this park and SeaWorld. I got 99 coaster laps over 3 days. Here, 2 days, 102 coaster laps. So my 56 coaster laps today consisted of 18 on Iron Rattler, as I said, 11 on Cliffhanger, 10 on Poltergeist, 5 on Chupacabra, 4 each on Wonder Woman and Superman, 2 on Batman the Ride, the SNS 40, and 2 on Boomerang. I look forward to when I'll be back here at Fiesta, Texas, but that probably won't be until December for Holiday in the Park, because I'm not doing Roller Coaster Rodeo unless something changes dramatically. I'm planning to be out west in California, Oregon, Washington, and finally getting to Silverwood and Lagoon. That's my plans for the first 2 weeks of June, which means I won't be able to be here for the rodeo. As a follow-up to this trip, here is 61 miles per gallon that I've done over 312 miles since my last fill up. That is what the Mitsubishi Mirage gets you. Now, you gotta be real intentional about it. You can't go at top speed, you can't gun it when the light turns green, and you gotta have the wind at your back. When the speed limit is 65, you gotta be willing to go a little bit slower. The car does tend to overestimate. It's got me at lifetime 51.8 miles per gallon, but I keep track of all my fill-ups. I do the math. I am a numbers nerd, just like with my coasters, and I am right at 48 miles per gallon lifetime, over 14,000 miles. Well, I'm now over 14,000. But I wouldn't be surprised if when I filled up and did the math that I got around 54 miles per gallon on this tank. Now, I have been doing a lot of, as you can see, around 55 miles an hour. I've been doing a lot of that. I've been able to. Doing the back roads, I've had hardly any traffic. And when I was on the highway, the traffic was just light enough that I could do that safely, and people were able to pass me. Actually got a pretty good wind today, about 15 miles an hour sustained, gusts into the 20s, and it's pretty much been at my back the whole way. Also, I've not had to run the AC, it hasn't been rainy, and it's the daytime. A lot of things gotta work in your favor to get the best mileage possible. And then you gotta drive very conservatively. I know that there's one guy out in California who drives his Mirage very gently, and he's able to get incredible mileage. But I have been driving it gently, but I could drive it even more gently. My preference for driving, if all roads were clear and I had the time, I would prefer driving around 60 miles an hour. That seems to be just kind of that really sweet spot, not too slow, not too fast, getting really good gas mileage. Maybe not the absolute best, but still getting really great mileage. But a lot of times when I'm on the road, I'm doing long distance driving and I'm trying to cover 600 to 700 miles in a day. And then when you factor in that you gotta stop for gas, restroom, food. I hate that we have to stop for food. Food is such a waste of time. But it has to be done, unfortunately. When you factor in all those stops that you need to make, kind of do need to be driving about 70 miles an hour, as long as that is the speed limit. You definitely don't get as good a gas mileage at that speed, but to cover the ground that I need to cover, it's got to be done quite a bit, actually. But I like it whenever I'm able to drive more around this speed, when I have the time to do so, and the roads allow me to. I don't like holding up traffic on these back roads with only one lane, and then they got to find a way to pass you. But that's just a note for all of you who do like to drive really fast. Not trying to change your mind on that, but whenever you come up on someone who is going a little bit slower, maybe going a lot slower, maybe you want to do 90 miles an hour and they're doing 60 on the highway, and there's other lanes to be able to pass them, please just pass them, because we don't want you riding our bumpers. It's not rude to pass us, it's actually rude not to pass us, so please just pass us. Where I filled up, it was saying 60.7 miles per gallon, and I had done that, and that was on 336 miles since the last fill up, and I just put in less than 6 gallons before it shut off. Now maybe if I topped it off, it would have gotten all the way up to 6, but as it is 5.817 gallons and 336 miles. You can do the math. I haven't done it yet, but I know that's over 56 miles a gallon, because if it was 6 gallons even, that would be 56 miles a gallon even. So I did even better than that. So that's what you can get with the Mirage. If everything works in your favor, wind's at your back, no other conditions affecting your gas mileage like heavy rains and things like that, and you drive conservatively. Do around 55 to 60 miles an hour as much as you can. And that's what you get with this car. $51 in gas on this trip. $51 to do 1,100 miles round trip.